Hey guys, welcome back. Today we have a comparison between the Deerfamy ice fishing shelter and the Eskimo 949i. Deerfamy did send me this ice fishing hut for free so I could review it, and thank goodness I already had another one so we can compare it to one of the name brands. Alright guys, so here on your left side you've got the Deerfamy ice fishing shelter, and on the right side we have the Eskimo. I don't know if you can see this, but the Eskimo is definitely larger and it's definitely heavier. So the Eskimo, much heavier to carry, Deerfamy a lot lighter, and I think I attribute that to the insulation. The insulation in the Eskimo is a lot heavier, a lot thicker. So as far as the bag goes, the Eskimo is a lot thicker, like a canvas material. It has this rubberized coating on the inside. It is a burrito style, but it loads on the end here, whereas the Deerfamy here opens on the top, burrito style. This is a lot thinner of a material, not as thick, not as heavy, and on the inside it's kind of rubberized a little bit. It does not have that like waterproof coating feel. It feels more like a rubber on the inside. One thing I also wanted to point out was that the Eskimo has some compression straps around the middle, so one here, one there, one down at the end. The Deerfamy does not have that. Alright guys, so that's kind of the comparison here between the two when you get them out of the package. We've used the Eskimo a few times, so we know kind of how it works. I'm going to go ahead and see the setup time on these, so I'm going to go ahead and time this out, how long it takes to open up the Deerfamy and get it all set up versus the Eskimo. And then once we get them both set up, we'll go ahead and compare the two as far as construction goes, features, etc. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and time out how long it's going to take to open up the Deerfamy here. So I got a stopwatch going, so let's see how long it takes. Alright guys, looks like minute 53-ish. I don't know if you can see that. So, whew, not too bad. Minute 53 for the Deerfamy. And I even had a bit of an issue. One of the sides popped in a couple times while I was setting it up. Alright guys, we got the Eskimo. It's definitely a lot heavier than the Deerfamy. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the stopwatch. Let's go ahead and start. All right, we got it. So this took 213, so a little bit longer. We've got the Eskimo Fatfish 949i. This paid with my own money. The Deerfamy over here, they sent me for free so we can check these things out. First thing is I'm gonna go get a tape measure and measure out how big these are compared to each other. And then, yeah, we'll kind of go over the construction of both of these and see which one's right for you. Man, this thing still smells like fish. Let's go corner to corner in the front. We've got 90 inches corner to corner. Let's go ahead and check out the Deerfamy. So, corner to corner in the front. It's a little smaller. So this is 85 inches corner to corner in the front. So you get about 5 more inches with the fat fish. Let's go diagonal. Diagonal in the Deerfamy is 120. You're looking at 130 inches diagonally of the fat fish. So it's actually about 10 inches bigger diagonally, which is kind of a big deal. So let's go ahead and check out the height, standing height. Middle of the fat fish, you're looking at 78 inches. And at the sidewall where it starts to slope, so right here, you're looking at 65. Okay, standing room in here. It's actually a bit taller. It's about 80 inches. About 80 inches in the middle, and a little taller at the sidewall at 69 inches. So the Deerfamy is a little bit better for standing room, but as far as fishing room, it's a little bit smaller. I'm not sure it's a big enough difference to you know, make a difference for you, but I guess you'll have to decide on that by yourself. Alright guys, let's go ahead and compare the Eskimo to the Deerfamy. So the build quality of the Eskimo is clearly much better. Build quality of the Eskimo is clearly much better, but you're definitely paying more. So the Eskimo will run you about $400. Oh my gosh, stop it. Stop it. Here, go get it. You're paying about $400 for this, on sale maybe $350. Oh my gosh, the dog. The Deerfamy, you're looking about $250 on Amazon. So I guess you get what you pay for maybe, but let's go ahead and take a look at the features and whatnot on the inside and see what the difference is. All right guys, we're inside of the Eskimo. So I've actually learned a few things while I've been opening this up, since we used it last year and I had no idea we had these features. So one thing are these storage pockets here. I had no idea they were there, and they're just kind of built into the tent, which is super nice. There's also a couple on the sides here, one there, one on the other side behind you. Yeah, and then there's another storage net on this side. As far as the vents go, these you can actually open and close from the inside of the tent. So if you need to vent out some air, you could just open those up from the inside. There's a ton of windows in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 windows. And one nice thing about these is they open down. So when you open them, you can just let them flop. You don't have to roll them up or anything. And then one thing I do like about these a lot is you can actually open these up all the way so you get airflow through here if you need it. And then you just Velcro these back up. You're good to go. So let's go ahead and close these things up, and I'll show you the reason why I think this is built a lot better than the Deerfamy. Not that the Deerfamy is bad, this is just, you know, a little bit better quality. So I don't know if you can tell, but it is dark in here. Like, there's a little bit of light coming through because of the windows here, but it's insulated really well because you cannot see through the tent fabric at all. And we are in blinding sunlight out here, as you can tell. So very dark in here. There's the only stitching I can see through is like at the edges and then on the window covers here. Alright guys, let's go ahead and go over to the other tent, check out the Deerfamy. Alright guys, here is the Deerfamy ice fishing hut. So one thing you'll see is the stitching is a lot closer together on here, so the squares aren't as big, so you're not going to get a lot of insulation in these little squares. It is insulated, but you know, not much. The stitching looks great. I mean, the build quality looks just as good, it's just not as thick of a material. One thing I want to point out before we go inside the tent are the vents. So you do have to open them from the outside of the Deerfamy. So there's a little Velcro piece here, and then there's a little kickstand to hold it up. You cannot access this from the inside. You can see some of the stitching coming out there, but generally it's good. There's just some little areas like that. Otherwise, as far as I could tell, the material definitely thinner, but the build quality is you know, not bad. So let's go ahead and check out the inside and see what features we get here. Alright guys, so we have some big differences here. So one thing is the cargo net. So this is removable in here, and this is the only one you get. There are a couple of pockets on the side, just like the Eskimo. The stitching isn't quite as robust, but you can actually get your hand in there a little bit better. But yeah, as far as the big cargo net, this is all you get. The venting These are the only two little teeny vents you get. There's one here, and then there's one on this side. They're very small, but they're there and you can get to them from the outside. One thing I don't like about this tent are the windows. So you only get two and they roll up. So here's one window here, there's one behind you there, but you roll these up and then there's like a little keeper there to hold that open. And then these do not open like they do in the Eskimo. So this is permanent. You can't open this for airflow. So you just have to open the doors if you want some airflow in here. Yeah, just the two windows, one on this side, same thing, and then of course the other door on the other side. Both of them have two doors. I would have to say the zippers on here are very nice. As far as I could tell, they're not, I mean, they don't say YKK on them, so, you know, just some generic zippers, but they seem to work fine. We set this thing up straight. Let's go ahead and close up all the doors and windows and see why I say that this is not insulated as well as the Eskimo. Coming? Coming? So you can plainly see the difference between the Deerfamy and the Eskimo. So this is red all the way from, well, at least the bottom third all the way up to the top third, and the insulation is very thin. It's very red in here. So the insulation's pretty thin. You get a lot of light in here. It's pretty windy today. You can see it kind of push in the sides. But there is black fabric on the top. You can see it is a bit darker. If you look at the side where the sun is hitting it, and this has black fabric, you can see through it right here. So the insulation is definitely not as thick. In the Eskimo, this is all black fabric, but a lot thicker, so that's why it's a lot darker in there. All right, so down here at the bottom of the tents, you'll see the snow skirts. So over here on this side is the Eskimo, and over here on this side is the Deerfamy. So the Deerfamy is kind of a tent material. It's pretty thin, and then the eyelets where you stake this down are pretty small. Looks like brass. But yeah, this is pretty thin stuff, but where the eyelet is, there is a strap that's stitched underneath, so that probably should be okay. This material is pretty thin. And then over here on the Eskimo, the snow skirt is a lot wider. The eyelet is bigger, and yeah, the fabric is just a lot thicker over here. So yeah, contributing to the weight and heft of this guy. But as far as the pop-up mechanism on the Deerfamy, it's definitely a lot lighter. So when I push on this, well, of course it's windy today, but when I push on this, it definitely collapses a lot faster. Let's go over here to the Eskimo. When I push on this, I mean, it collapses a little bit, but you can see I can shake this thing and it's not collapsing. So the collapsing mechanism is a lot stronger. I think the Eskimo could take a lot bigger wind. As far as reflective strips on these guys, the only ones on the Deerfamy at all are right where the collapsing mechanism is. So you see this reflective strip here. There's one on each pull knob here. So those are the only reflective strips. On the fat fish, the Eskimo, you'll see there's reflective strips on the windows here, as well as on the corners here. So there's one here, on every side. Nothing on the door, but yeah, they're on the windows and every side, but not where the poles are here. So yeah, reflective all over the place on this guy. So one difference between the Eskimo and the Deerfamy, the Deerfamy does have a ground sheet. I really like this option. I really do wish the Eskimo had one. The Clam brand has a ground sheet that you can purchase for theirs. I have not found one for the Eskimo, but basically this covers the whole floor of the ice fishing hut. I already showed this on the last video, but I do like this. It keeps you know, kind of the area clean where you're fishing, and then it does have openings where you can drill your holes, and then it covers the rest of the floors. It is just a tarp material, but I think it's a really cool option for a budget tent like this. All right, let's go ahead and tear these things down. I'll show you how easy it is to put these away.
Maybe they provided you the fabric for patchwork. You know, if you had ripped or patched, you can have fabric to patch with it.
Maybe. One thing I do like about this bag is the burrito style, because it's easy to get it in the bag versus having to load it on the end. The dog really wants to play frisbee. The zippers on this are pretty flimsy. I don't know how much I trust these to last. Very easy to put away. One nice thing about this one, it's very light compared to the Eskimo, but I think that's because the fabric is a lot thinner. Let's go ahead and put away the Eskimo. Okay, we're going the other way. heavy. But the bag is definitely made better, a lot thicker. And we have compression straps to make it a little more manageable. All right, let's go fishing. I'm not anywhere near a lake. That was a comparison between the Eskimo 949i and the Deerfamy insulated ice fishing hut. My conclusion is that if you've never been ice fishing before, but you still want a hut to keep you warm, the Deerfamy is definitely a good entry-level ice tent. There's nothing wrong with it at all. The build quality is definitely not as good as the Eskimo, but is it worth more money? Yes, but this is more for a pro level ice fisherman, whereas this is definitely a entry-level ice fisherman hut.
Hobbyist.
Hobbyist hut. It's a hobbyist.
Entry hobbyist.
You know,
hut.
kind of like what we are, but so yeah, would I recommend the Deerfamy? Yeah, sure. I think this is good for just about anybody. Maybe in high winds it won't be so good because of how the mechanisms are on this, but other than that, build quality is fine, and I think you'd have a great time either way. If you guys have questions, leave them down in the comments below. Make sure you check out my other video of the unboxing of this guy, and check out our future videos as well. Hit that like button, hit subscribe. See you on the next one.